All right, we're live, champs.
Here we go, champs.
Ladies and gentlemen, get them to come in. Champ, you got a tea sorted? You got a hot chocolate or something?
Champ, look at the size of this.
Jeez, that's... brother, I thought I had a big one. You've got a big one, bro.
I put 3 tea bags in this thing. It was so strong.
What is it? English breakfast?
English breakfast. Your brother hooked me up with the mug.
Yeah.
So, in
How many
honor of
sugars?
him, I had 2.5 sugars in here.
Yeah.
But it's like big. And he said, I've got to use it each podcast. So, or like each time we're coming on. So, bang. Every pod, whatever I'm on, post game, it's gonna be make the feature if I'm at home.
Yeah. Here we go. Chris Cassette. Let's go, champ. JC, get keen for T-Cool. Yes, we'll get to some of those players very shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Say good day in the chat. I want to see who's in here. Say hello. Don't be shy. I won't bite. Caleb might.
Depending on the day. Maybe Saturday night, huh?
Maddie and Missy travels. Would love pies to get both Jack Hutchinson and Bryn Teakle. We'll see how we go. Yep. We'll acknowledge these sort of comments, but we will talk a little bit more about them shortly. Davey boy, love your work, boys. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Really appreciate it. Guys, the stream on the AFL website starts at 7 o'clock, so we'll sort of just guide us through the entire stream as we go. I don't know how long it's going to go for. Maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Whatever it is, we'll be here for the long haul. And, yeah. Hutchinson, a forward. Yes, he's a forward. Like I said, we'll talk about these players in a moment. I want to sort of like get them all.
Let some more people come in, and once the ball starts rolling, we'll start to get going.
So what's everyone's day job here, guys? What are we getting up to during the day? Because we know Collingwood is, I like to say, it's the most important, unimportant thing in my life, if that makes any sense. What do we do that's sort of contributing to society on our weekly or daily basis? Love both of your backgrounds, by the way. Yeah,
I'd just like to know I do a lot of presentations at work, and then, to a sales team, about 200 people, and I hope everyone who's a Collingwood supporter would be proud that this background is on display, no blur or anything, so all 200 sales team members can see me in the Collingwood going. You should have seen the Q4 sales report when we won the granny as well.
So basically what you're saying is if they are not a Collingwood supporter, you're basically running at a deficit and a lesser likelihood in converting these prospects for the sake of your love for Collingwood. Is that right?
Exactly right. Right.
Man. Mind of own, mental health. Yes, I did notice you mentioned that a couple of times in the comment section. Is there anything specifically you do? Is it like psychology, counseling? What's your demographic? Do you have a demographic? Twist cables for a living? Check
Sparky.
That Sparky. Huh? We got a Sparky on decks. Unreal. Love that. JC HR. Nice. Very nice. Very good. What for? Is it for like retail, or what type of company are you doing the HR work for? Manny. Ella Buviki. Yasure. What's going on, mate? No breaking TVs, mate. If we get a certain player, is there a player that if we get, are you going to break your TV or?
Mate, JB Hi-Fi will be loving this bloke every time he's in. But I reckon the guy at the call, he goes, Manny, another 55-incher? We got it out the back.
Straight up, bro. Andrew Hendo in Perth. What's going on, mate? Enjoying the insights. Thanks. I appreciate it. Well, we both appreciate it, of course. Hopefully you stick around and let's see who Collingwood pick up. There's not a lot of mail around who we might pick up. It's a lot of like sort of turn off the lights and put your hand in a lucky dip and have a guess at who we might sort of pick up. I know we know what type of profile of a player we need, but we don't know who specifically they may be targeting, right?
Yeah, exactly right. There's not much information, and especially, the draft other teams might take someone that we've got jotted down. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this goes today.
Yeah, exactly right. Mind of own, PTSD treatment, war veterans. Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. How long have you been in that sort of realm for? That's interesting. Woody, the man who knows every statistical data that exists in the world of AFL and a frequent viewer and listener in the stream. We appreciate you, mate. What's going on?
100%.
Did
100%.
you go to Wolf on on the weekend, Woody?
What a spot.
JC in the disability industry. Very nice. Mitchell, Rizza, mate, what's going on? Joe Pike and Will Elliott will be good pickups, yes? I reckon we'll get started talking about some of these prospects in a moment. Let me just get through a couple more of these comments. Need a ruck and key forward? Absolutely. If we don't beat the Bulldogs, I'm going to write off my I can't say that, man. I can't say that, brother. I can't say that. Mark, evening all. Mark from Sec here. Hope you do well tonight. Sec, where's Sec champ? SEQ. Mark, is that a state? Southeast Queensland. Southeast Queensland.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
I was just testing you, brother. I knew. Mind of own, 30 plus years. Very good. Nice work. Wooden spoon, not this week. Might hit electric this weekend, huh? That's what he's saying, champs.
Jeez.
Electric Lady Lounge. All right, let's pop up this.
Make sure you're using the guest list, boys.
Yeah. Pies Footy guest list upon entry, Woody. How you press play on this stuff? Here we go. Live.
Just got opened up the
guys. If you want to follow along, jump on the AFL website if you want to watch the AFL stream.
Now, I don't know how we're going to do this where I can able to hear the draft. So hopefully it's not getting picked up through my mic. Is that coming through, champs?
No.
Oh, perfect.
So they've basically got a massive Zoom going on.
Could do something a little bit better than a Zoom, right? Maybe you can get some NBA style down in the future or something.
Ruddy, what's going on, mate? How you going? You keen for the draft or what? Who do you want? So pick 1 will be North Melbourne, pick 2 Richmond, pick 3 West Coast, 4 St Kilda, 5 Hawthorn, 6 Brisbane, 7 Adelaide, 8 West Coast, 9 Carlton, 10 Collingwood, 11 Melbourne, 12 Port, 13 Sydney 14th, and then we have another pick at pick 19.
Yeah, exactly right. So
getting these draft picks, not using their picks, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We're getting these draft picks due to watch for Aiden Begg, obviously injured, and also Nathan Murphy, unfortunately having to retire earlier this year. So that's how we're able to get these 2 draft picks.
And what are we hoping for, champs, as far as the profile, and maybe point out a couple of players for us that we might be interested in this draft?
Yeah, well, obviously we're wanting, as most of you guys have already commented and what we've been saying, is we need a key forward, number 1, and then obviously a ruck as well, someone that can come in or pinch hit, or a ruck that can swing forward. Either way. So, obviously someone who's got that ability. The good thing is, with a key forward, we probably want someone that's a little bit older so they can come straight in. Generally, a key forward or a ruck takes a couple of years to develop. But I do believe Joe Pike, even though he is young, at 19, he plays at Geelong Falcons. He's showing some good upside. Someone that might not have an immediate good effect, but he's got a couple good strength. His clean hands, hit up markability. His one-on-ones are quite good. Obviously, he can swing forward, ruck forward. Ruckcraft as well. He's currently averaging 19 disposals. So he's a top ager, someone to look forward to.
Who's he playing for, Champ? Did you say that?
Geelong Falcons. Yeah, so he's playing down there. Hopefully, he's someone with a little bit of upside, but he's a little bit young. So something to note there that I don't think he's going to be able to come in. But if you want to invest in someone, he could be a good longer-term investment.
Yep. What about as far as maybe a ready-made player? Who have we got in mind, champs?
Yeah, we've got Brian Tickle. Obviously, prior previous AFL experience down at Port Adelaide. He's got a good agility and kicking efficiency, and he's currently averaging 16.2 disposals, 32 hit-outs, and about 3.6 marks. So if you're wanting him to swing forward, maybe that would probably need a lift a little higher. But as it goes for a ruck, I think he could be ready-made coming in and do a job for us.
Yeah, I think Bryn's 24 years old, 204 centimeters. So he's got that ability to be that ruck forward, pinch hitting a ruck. And obviously with Mason Cox as well going down with that MCL, we're going to need someone to cover those blemishes. And then obviously with Myercheck, with the recurring hamstring, we don't know what that's going to look like in the long term. McStay's still, hoping to be back by before the end of the home and away season is what I've heard. That's the mail that's sort of traveling around at the moment. But definitely need someone who's probably ready-made if we can get him before he gets picked up. We had a look at him in the preseason and he just fell short. I think we opted for Josh Eyre, Jack Bytel, and Lockie Sullivan. And, to be fair, he's up against decent competition considering Bytel and Sullivan have already featured for us. And Josh Eyre, you could argue, probably would be playing hadn't he done his hamstring tendon injury while he was trialing for Collingwood. So that's probably one of the more ready-made players.
Yeah, exactly right. And we've got to think about it as well, in the finals, hopefully we get McStay back. And it's going to be more of a contested game as we know how finals are. So it's going to be slowed down. So our ability to transition quickly could be, play up with us during the final series. So if we can get someone that's a little bit taller that is ready-made, that can definitely come in, maybe be a third key, could really help us later on in the year if like the likes of AJ doesn't come into form early on in the year. Well, later on in the season, I should say.
Yeah. Chris, have we selected anyone yet? No. We're at pick 10. We haven't got the pick 1 isn't even gone yet. So not just yet. Hugh Dixon Mitchell. Yes, good point. Perfect timing. We can mention Hugh Dixon from Southport Sharks in the VFL. He has previously played for West Coast and is doing well for the Southport Sharks in the VFL right now. Currently averaging 2 goals a game, and he had a highlight game against the Northern Bull Ants last week or the week before. VFL had a bye this most recent week, but he kicked 3 goals, 20 disposals, 11 marks, and 2 goal assists versus the bottom side in the Northern Bull Ants. And guys, just quickly, North Melbourne have selected Geordie Payne. I think he is a top ager in the Coates League for the Tasmanian Devils, if I'm not mistaken. From Tassie, I would have taken Bryn Teakle over Jack Bytel. I don't know. Hindsight can be 20/20. We weren't too sure we were going to have this sort of deficiency or need for key tools this early in the season, considering what we had before the season had started. Yeah, Geordie Payne, Woody, and yes, Smiley. It's just started. Pick one just been taken.
How's the Zoom talk called, champs, huh?
I know. Feel like it's 2020 again, man.
Yeah. Aussie Mac, you can watch it on the AFL website. Just click on there. They've got a link saying mid-season draft. Pretty easy to go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What else have we got players-wise? So, like I said, the need for a key tool. Guys, I don't know if there's been much talk about this guy or whether he's been nominated, but Liam McMahon, who currently plays for Collingwood, is a ruck forward, ex-Collingwood player, drafted a few years ago for Collingwood, at pick 31. He's 198 centimeters tall and just kicked 4 goals on the weekend against Williamstown when Carlton played them. And he's had 15 goals in 6 games at Carlton. So for their VFL side. So I don't know if he's nominated. I don't know if he's a sniff. We'll see. But just quickly, champs, Richmond have selected Jacob Blight from the Waffle Peel Thunder. He was actually on our list, champs, actually. He was.
He was. Champs, I think, unless you're calling it out late, I think you might be 20 or 30 seconds behind the actual draft.
I think I'm just calling it out late, brother.
Yeah, just making sure, champs. Just making sure.
No, you're right. Blighty, big boy. What did I have for him? Marbles, AFL marbles. You can watch on AFL website. Tigers didn't take Teakle. We're still on a run. Yes, the Tigers were needing a ruck in some sort of capacity with Sam Naismith doing his ACL. So interesting considering they didn't go for that, but clearly they want another ready-made key defender considering they have Gipkus and Tyler Young out with ACLs, who are both their young key defenders for their squad.
JC, it is the website, but West Coast is just taking Jack Hutchinson. So that's someone that we had on our list that we knew he was going to get taken. It was a Hail Mary that if he was going to slip to us, he was, but he's taken. So he would have been nice to have, but it's good to see him, someone in our VFL side, get touted pretty high up.
I have a question without notice for you regarding that. If you
can leave it to the podcast, what do you want?
No, I'm giving you it right now in front of a live crowd. If a player from your VFL team is doing well, should you get rights to select them and give up your pick? Or I don't know the logistics behind it, but should Collingwood be able to pick players like Jack Hutchinson before anybody else can?
It should be. A lot can happen, right? It should be almost a priority pick if we can match it, kind of like the father-son rule. Maybe that's something that can be worked out, because you got to think about, he's got the Eagles. It's all right, they're not doing too good. But let's say if he was going to a contender, he essentially knows everything, right? He knows how we want to play, how our system is. He can go there and be a mole, essentially just bleep out all our information. So very sensitive. I reckon that's something that can or should be able to do if we can match the criteria regarding that, because mid-season your system's not going to change, your players aren't going to change, they pretty much know your whole playbook. So would you agree with that, champs?
100%. And Josiah Young and JC both agree in a chat. What does everybody else think? Do you think if your VFL affiliate team has a player that you fancy in a mid-season draft, should you get the rights to that player? Obviously factor in that you'd probably have to give something back in return. I don't know what that looks like in a mid-season draft, considering maybe a lot of
it's like a player system. It could be like the father and son, and maybe we have to give up a next year draft pick. You know what I mean? Something
like a mid-season draft pick or something.
Yeah, mid-season or that normal draft.
Something, right? Something,
right? Or do we give up both our picks for round picks 10 and 19 to get him?
Yeah.
Where did you get them? AFL store.
Yeah, so St Kilda took Max Hall at pick 4. I don't know a whole lot about him. I didn't have him on my radar. He mustn't have been a tall key forward or ruck or tall defender at that.
Another one we got on our list. Scott.
Just for Scape. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I actually had some notes ready to go on him. He's really good, strong mark, overhead ability. He's really good. He's got a great set shot. So would have been nice to pick him up as another key forward, but and he would have been a purely key forward for us. He wouldn't have been too well in the ruck, just based off his prior experience. But it's good. Shame to see him go, but we'll hopefully get someone else slow down.
Yeah, and I think with Hawthorn, they got Jack Gunston in their forward department, who's only getting older. Mitch Lewis can't get on the ground. Maybe Mitch Lewis comes to Collingwood. What do you think? Would you guys like to see Mitch Lewis come to Collingwood and have an opportunity with us to get his body right? Because I think he has a lot of potential. Lincoln McDowell, is Markov back this week? I'm actually not too sure. But if you tune into our new segment, Caleb won't be present because he's got better commitments in footy training tomorrow. But we're going to be doing a new show called Moving the Magnets. And that will essentially just be unfolding the live selections tomorrow night. So tune in Thursday. I think I've got it listed for 5:45 p.m. Champs, this guy, Will McLaughlin, is serious. To go at pick 6, I think he kicked 6 goals on the weekend or the weekend prior, and he's just been tearing it up as a top ager for, I forget which team it is, whether it's Western Jets in the Coates League or something, but he's going to be a serious player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he can get a look in for Brisbane at some point this season.
What else we got coming this week, champs?
We've got the pre-game and post-game show for the Western Bulldogs game. So tune into that, guys, on Friday night. Caleb and I will both be present for that. And then we also have another new show starting next Monday called The Pie Performers, which will just be Caleb and I rating each player's performances from the weekend. So join in to that and have your share as well. Hope we grab Chase, you'll talk to that one as well.
Yeah, hope we grab tackle. We need a ruck to back up Cameron. We agree. It's starting to look a little bit promising. You'd hope the Collingwood board is on the same side as us, because that's who we've got penciled in as our first pick for number 10. But like we said earlier, if you missed it, very good one-on-one. He's 32 hitouts he's averaging at the moment. And he's also averaging 16.2 disposals. So someone to note. And obviously he's got that experience already in the AFL system, being in Port last year. And I think a guy who's been delisted, even though he was delisted because of an injury, but it really is a second chance. And I reckon they're going to try give it everything they have to make it work. So that's something else. Maybe his work ethic might have been questioned. I'm not too sure, but I can make guarantee if this is his second opportunity, he's going to put everything towards it.
Yeah. And just quickly, pick 7, Adelaide have gone for Toby Murray, the brother of Nick Murray, who's already at Adelaide. So that made sense. A ruck forward in the sample, obviously, for the Crows. So made sense for them to go as quickly as possible with Toby Murray. Magpies 10. I saw something on TikTok about Pendlebury being out. Is this just BS? No, it's not, unfortunately. He's going to be out with... Is it the bicep champ?
Mate, fucking the pipe's too big, man.
How?
He obviously managed to get through the game after strapping it up, but he was laid out today.
Yeah. Oh, well, what do you do, man? What do you do?
Yeah.
No bicep curls for Pendles for the rest of the season. That's what SMC is saying. No more curls.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find some additional information on how long he's expected to miss.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, guys, I'm not sure if you're aware of who we've drafted in the mid-season draft before, but look no further than players like John Noble, Josh Carmichael, Aiden Begg, Ash Johnson as well. They've all had their moments, and John Noble is a mainstay in our team. So there's definitely some nuggets in the mid-season draft.
Noble being the first mid-season draft to play 100 games as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that. All
right, here we go. Cooper Lord taken by Carlton. Unfortunate for him. Playing going for such a dog of a club, but it's almost game time, champs. Do you reckon we get him?
It's nearly us. Champs, no spoilers to me. I reckon you're about 5-10 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
I reckon you're 5
Mate, I'm blurting it out as soon as it comes up.
This one, Rick, hopefully Joe Pike. Hopefully, I don't know. Champ, pick 10. Are we going Joe Pike or Bryn Teakle? Which one's it going to be?
Well, what we need now, I'm going Teakle, just because, those bigger roles do need to develop a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But.
And then.
Here we go. We've picked someone that I haven't put in my notes, so I'm going to have to. Iluru Smith.
Who have we got? I'm just going to turn this up for a sec. Iluru Smith from the Eastern Rangers, Coates League, and he is a ruckman, ruck forward.
Yep.
Top ager. Intercept prowess.
Look, champs. What I was about to allude to is if we wanted, I would much rather a right now ruck or key forward, and then get someone like I was going to say Joe Pike later on for our pick 19, for example. So I would have liked Tinkle to go first, and then we can use him in the pretty much immediately. Then get someone like a Joe Pike or this Donny that we just drafted, and get him pick 19.
Yeah,
But we'll
Lewis
see.
Smith.
Obviously, the selection board has seen something in him. So
Yeah, he wasn't on the
was he
tip
on
of
your
anyone's
radar,
tongue.
Jeff?
No,
Was he on your?
and doing my research, it didn't seem like he was on anyone's radar. But they obviously had an eye on this man, and hopefully he's ready made to give us a hand, because we need a hand right now. We need a hand right now in the AFL when it comes to our tall departments. But that's a shock to me. But I'm sure we'll get to know a little bit more about him over the next few days.
Exactly right. Sometimes you got to have faith.
Illaru
We don't want
Smith.
to. We don't want to start bagging the guy out, and we end up on a YouTube clip 3 years, 4 years from now, and the kid's absolute jet. You know what I mean?
I'll pull up his stats from the Coates League, because I've got the Coates Talent League app.
Yeah.
Let's find out. So it's from the Eastern Rangers.
Yeah.
Disposals.
Did you want to put up Maddie and Missy Travel's comment just in regards to Pendlebury? Apparently, he's going to be back for round 13. So hopefully, it's not too serious. I believe who we got. We got the Doggies. We've got North, right?
Melbourne and then North.
Melbourne, then North, right? Yeah. So North is a give me. Sorry that you missed this, mate, but that's going to be an easy win for us, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then obviously that Melbourne game is going to be a little bit challenging.
Yeah, and Champ, I'm just looking at Illaru Smith's stats in the Coates Talent League. They don't spring out of the phone to me. He's averaging 6 disposals a game, and he's kicked 4 goals in 9 games. And I mean, his hit out stats, I think he's averaging, if I had to do my quick maths, that's not very good. He's averaging close to 20 to 25 odd. Yeah, I'd say about 20 hit outs per game. But like I said, it's hard to judge a ruck based on their stats, because sometimes what you see numbers wise doesn't tell the full story. And this player might be a prospect player. He's 200 centimeters tall, and he's 19 this year.
Yeah.
So, and he played in 2022, and he averaged 6 disposals and 1 tackle a game.
Yeah, so he's out of the Eastern Rangers side, and he played his junior career at Mount Evelyn Footy Club.
Okay.
So, yeah, it will be something to note, and hopefully he goes all right.
Yeah, Derek Hine does pretty well picking up unseen talent. Like I said, he's picked up John Noble, he's picked Carmichael, Begg, Ash Johnson, and they've all had a fair crack. As Caleb pointed out too before, John Noble's the first player out of the mid-season draft to reach 100 games.
Yeah.
So we'll trust Derek Hine's judgment and his scouting. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think there's anything more to say than we'll see.
Yeah,
so that means
it's always funny doing this live when you don't have a guy touted on your list and then he gets drafted. It's kind of put a spanner in our works, hasn't it, Chance? We're
thinking
Pike,
bit of a shake and bake. But we've got pick 19. So
exactly.
Joe Pike is still on the tables. Bryn Teakle, Ned Long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
next fourth one player. But Champs, so we've just picked a ruck forward. Would you want to then pick round 19 as another ready, available someone now? Or would you go maybe someone in a key defender list? Or
look, maybe the rationale that Collingwood's selection panel's gone with here is they're probably gambling on the fact that Joe Pike or Bryn Teakle will go later in the draft. And they wanted to go early on this, what is it, Smith? What was his name? Illaru Smith, right? So they've gone early on him because they obviously see something that maybe other clubs haven't seen, and they wanted to lock that in. But yeah, Rick here says, I think, maybe we can get a Bryn Teakle or Joe Pike. And if they're gone, maybe we just get Ned Long, who's been doing well for Collingwood. But
yeah.
You want to read that?
The thing with that, Rick, is, and the point I was alluding to, these guys take a couple of years to develop. So I don't know, to pick him first, instead of round 19, would he fall into 19? Because all the pre-draft things I watched and the analysis we got done to get ready for this, I didn't see him touted. So obviously, these guys, their day jobs to assess talent and drafts, and he must have tremendous upside then that we're not seeing. So to your point, aggressive ruck could be really well for us. Yeah, Pendles. I think they would see Bo in there a little bit more to play a more physical role in there. And then, like you said, Champs, we probably need a bigger body in there because Pendle's out. So Bo could get a couple more minutes in there. Keen to see how that goes, but I guess we can save a few things for the pre-game show on Friday.
Yeah, I reckon we'll save that for that as well. But Pendle's out just means more opportunities for lesser players.
Oh, yes.
What have you seen that you don't like?
I'll wait for you to pop up. Chap, you're like 30 seconds behind, man. Come get heartbreaking with me.
Bryn Teakle gone to North Melbourne. Okay.
Is Hal in? We're not too sure yet. Team list gets listed tomorrow. We'll see. You're saying, Champs, he could be going in for the forward line, right?
Yeah, I reckon Howie goes forward and Charlie Dean remains in the back line. That seems like the logical way to go about it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Howe swinging forward, if I'm being completely honest.
North Melbourne. I mean, they got Tristan Sherry. They don't obviously have Todd Goldstein anymore, and then Callum Coleman-Jones went down with an Achilles rupture. So that's probably the logistics behind that selection for North Melbourne to get Bryn Teakle into the team.
Yeah.
Matty, no good, mate.
Your mum.
No good, Matty. He's gone. Gone to North Melbourne.
Yeah.
We'll scratch him out.
We'll
scratch him out. Scratch out Blight, Hutchinson, Scaife. Toby Murray's gone.
Yeah.
Joe Pike still stands.
Joe Pike does still stand. But are you going to want to develop two young?
Do you see that pick yet? Do you see that pick yet, champ? Campbell Gray? Am I ahead of you now?
I don't know, champ. I don't reckon this would have been flagged. I reckon we could have made, if we made it small, maybe we could have fit it on the stream.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
No way, Tark. That can't be. What do you mean he's got his own website? Of himself?
The guy we drafted has his own website. How do you mean, Tark?
What is Ilora Smith, right?
Yeah. Is Joe Pike still on the table? Yeah, JC, he is.
Yeah.
Matty, yeah, could be Ned Long. Could be Ned Long. He's done pretty well since he's come over to Collingwood from Hawthorn.
Yeah.
He's done well. Yeah, Joe Pike's still on the table. Ned Long's still on the table. Liam McMahon from Carlton. I don't know. Maybe he gets a shot. Hopefully. How good is that?
The boys, huh?
Yeah, that's nice.
I was going to say pasta.
Yeah. Why don't we get Kruger in the team? Yeah, I reckon he's every chance. Hopefully, we'll find out a bit more tomorrow. We need someone in the ruck to help out Darcy Cameron now. He can't go solo. And Billy Frampton probably playing too well in the back line to swing him forward and pinch hit in the ruck, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I don't see him come in. Frampton, I feel like he just did a roll on the weekend because of the clock's going out. But yeah, I think Kruger comes in tomorrow. He's paying $1 in my eyes. So to come into the squad and have his first game of the year, I believe. So Pike, yes, he is a forward. You mentioned it before. Plays out of Geelong Falcons. He's a top ager there, averaging 19 disposals, 203 centimeters, and 97 kg. Very good on his one-on-ones. So he's got his clean hands as well. He's quite long when he gets his ability nice and long, takes the marks out in front of him. So he would be a good pickup as well. Do we know? I'm not sure if Collingwood wants to pick, though, 2 young 19-year-olds in very similar spots. So obviously we picked Ilroy Smith, which is the same age as Joe Pike. So I don't think we'd go for Pike. What are you thinking, Champ?
Yeah. Look, the pickings are getting slimmer. But I guess we'll just see.
The pass as well. So it's Collingwood's time now. So we'll see what happens. Ned Long. There we go.
We got him.
Champs. We got him.
Long been selected at pick 19. There you go, guys.
Oh, that's not bad.
We'll take it. He deserves the opportunity. A big-body midfielder from Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Probably overshadowed by players like Jai Newcomb and Will Day as such. So it's a good opportunity for Ned Long to come in the team and have another crack at AFL level.
Exactly right. That's good.
Yeah. So Josh Fraser, I think,
he's given straight in. Huh?
Maybe
does he come straight in? Look, we're just talking about Bo before, maybe getting some more midfield minutes. We do need a bigger midfielder in there. If they don't put all the confidence in Bo, maybe gets a run on Friday. Yeah.
Who knows? Is a big boy, Ned Long, and he knows where the goals are. He doesn't know where the 2 big sticks are because he's missed more than he's made, but he gets quite a few shots on goal. I think he's averaging close to 20 disposals a game, and I think he's been Josh Fraser's, the VFL coach, the coach for the VFL team. He's given Ned Long the MVP status for at least 2 of their games, maybe 3 so far this year. So he's performing really well at VFL level. So, yeah.
Here we go.
Those are our picks. Pick 10, pick 19. We don't have a 3rd round pick. There are teams that have another pick, but fortunately Adelaide passed pick 18, so that gave us a luxury to have a look in at a certain Ned Long. But yeah, no Bryn Teakle and no Joe Pike selected for Collingwood. Richmond passed as well, champ.
Pardon, champs?
Richmond have passed as well.
Yeah. Brisbane has just made their pick in Darcy Craven. So he's heading there. But yeah, champs, I think Ned Long, big midfielder, could be good for us, especially with Pendle there. I don't know if he comes directly in. Obviously, picking someone that's in the VFL side is quite a good thing. Like we were saying before, with these priority picks, they already know, like, if there were to be priority picks, that's why we're saying we should have the luxury to be able to draft guys in our VFL if they are selected. But he already knows our system, is what the long-winded part that I was alluding to. So he can come straight in if we really, with Pendle's there, he could have a game this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, and DeGoey out for a month at least with that abdominal tendon strain or whatever that may be. Obviously, Pendles, as you just mentioned, with the sore bicep. We got any other midfielders? I keep forgetting, mate. Midfielders that are missing. Tom Mitchell, of course, with the foot.
Mitchell, yeah.
We don't know. Sometimes the foot can get a bit sketchy. They say it might be this long, but it could be, But it just means more competition for Finland McRae at AFL level as well, man.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Any other midfielders that I guess Bytel is available, so he'll be in the conversation and be more competition for someone like Bytel with Ned Long coming in. Yeah.
Not bad, champs. Not bad.
That's it. What do we think, guys? Are we happy with the 2 selections?
Yeah. I think Ned Long's a good pickup.
Yeah.
Ilroy Smith, we'll have to wait and see. With him, we'll find some more information. Maybe we can add it into the podcast in a couple of weeks.
Does anybody know anything about Ilroy Smith in this chat? Anybody? Anyone got any idea? Nobody? Ned Long, obviously, he's pretty well documented, so I wouldn't be surprised if most people here know a bit about Ned. Jazzy, the Mac. Go
Let's go,
Champs.
Tim. Hey, in the tower, man. Played up.
Played up, man. No idea. Mind of own, no idea. I'll do some research after this stream, and maybe I'll get a video out introducing the two new players for Collingwood. Hopefully, get that out tomorrow, maybe at some point. Tune in.
Could even do a shorts champ if
a shorts.
Idea. Yeah, maybe a YouTube shorts minute introduction.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Looks raw based on some highlights. Yep, that's what you get with tall young prospects, right, Champs?
Yeah, exactly right. We have posted highlights on the Hollywood website, so you guys can go suss them out there. Yeah.
Geez, they've monstered through this, Champs. They've round 3, 2 passes. Round 4, Brisbane had the final pick pass as well. Averaging 21 hitouts and 2.6 marks of 5 games. MVP, we can pick him Friday night. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can pick him. I think Collingwood likes him because of aggression, and Cox is an aging player, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense. In the long term, it makes sense. But what it does mean, Champs, is it sounds like we're backing in our small forward department to really lead the way for at least another 4 weeks.
Exactly right, Cam. Yeah, maybe we're saving that like a key forward for the offseason. Maybe the team's got someone in mind already. That we're like, we're not going to get someone in the mid-season draft because we can we can pick someone up in free agency that's ready-made, come down as a key forward. So maybe that's the rationale behind it. Iloro Smith, watching his highlights now, he's a big ruckman, looks very big, especially along the Coates League. Like some people are alluding to, he's very, very aggressive with his hitouts. If the ball goes, bounce up, we're going this way, he will just directly dive straight over his man. And he's just in the highlights, really, he has shown some ability to his ruck craft, being able to hit 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So something like that where we've got an elite midfield. We've got Darcy Cameron, who's arguably the best ruckman at the moment. I'm counting him in there. Could actually show good age and develop quite well for us, especially if someone's already got that ruck craft coming in, being able to work with an elite midfield group. It could bring his hit out game to the next level. Moving around the ground, watching him, Ilori looks very like, mate, he looks like a ruckman. Like,
he does.
Kind of a little bit clumsy.
He's got the sock up.
He's got the. I don't mind the sock up.
And the shin pad. And the shin pad.
But yeah, it looks quite raw moving around. But in the ruck contest, looks quite good. So
he's joining a good team, Champs. He's joining a good team.
Yeah. We'll welcome him with open arms.
Yeah, Brendan, we picked someone who slipped under everyone's radar in Iloro Smith, a top ager from Eastern Rangers in the Coates Talent League, the under-18s comp. He's a ruckman, very, very raw, obviously. So that looks to be more of a long-term prospect. But then we also took Ned Long from our VFL side, who's been really impressive. A couple MVP performances in the VFL thus far this season. And maybe he gets a run this week, maybe next week, with the amount of injuries in midfield we have right now, and more competition for players like Lockie Sullivan, Finn McRae, and Jack Bytel. So that's pretty much it. We've used our 2 picks, and the mid-season draft is essentially over now.
Exactly, chaps. And how are you describing Ned Long's game if you haven't watched him before, or you're not too well versed within our VFL squad?
Look, he's a big-bodied midfielder. Like I said, he knows where the goals are. Doesn't kick through the 2 big sticks too frequently, but he at least knows where the other 2 posts are. So he averages quite a few scoring shots per game, gets clearances, and he's a tackling machine as well. So he'll get his 20 disposals, he'll get his 18, 19, whatever it may be, but you know he's going to get close to 7, 8, 9, 10 tackles a game. And not proven at AFL level, but has been given a shot at AFL level in the past, which suggests that maybe he's taken some strong learning curves while during his time at Hawthorn competing against players like Jai Newcombe, Will Day, James Warple. So it's just another opportunity for somebody who could maybe have their opportunity in the right place at the right time at a place like Collingwood with all the injuries we have right now.
Yeah, exactly right. And he's a big body, 6'4", and he'll bring us a lot of pressure when he's in there as well.
Yeah.
Put Josh and Nick Dacos in the middle, and they can kick goals. Well, champs, we have been talking about obviously Nick Dacos' ability to play in the middle, but a little bit more so. We saw it on the weekend, Josh Dacos getting a little bit more time within the middle. Can't remember if we mentioned on the podcast or if it's just one of our private conversations, but Josh's ability to use the footy would be elite in the midfield. Did you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, his hit rate in the midfield is pretty good as well. He gets a clearance every 1 in 5 centre bounce attendances, which is top 5 in the league for players with more than 10% centre bounce attendances this year. So he knows how to find it in there. Obviously, he's on the wing for his outside use with really good ball use, and he knows where the goals are, especially as well, much like his younger brother. So to get him in the midfield with Nick Dacos, obviously we'd need a bigger body to accompany them. But in saying that, as long as I just would like to see Josh Dacos in the rotation to a more capacity than what it is right now. It's 10%, I think, right now. I'd like to see Josh feature in at least 30% of our centre bounce attendances by the time this year is all said and done.
Yeah, exactly right. You'd kind of want, and like I'm speaking from my coaching, obviously doing the under 15s, I'd probably would rather have 2 bigger body mids than someone who's lighter who can get on the fly, which is Nick Dacos for us. If you had both Nick and Josh in there at the same time, I would. We did test it on the weekend, but I would like to see, especially with a bigger midfield group such as Bulldogs, how we'd go against them if we would have those 2 in there. So maybe we just need to make sure we're getting those contests right in the middle. If we were to go on 2, lighter-ish guys and the more contested guys.
Yeah. Matchups make fights, as they say, champs. Like you said, it just depends. That's a good point. Depends who you're versing as well. So with Bontempelli in there, Liberatore's out, Ed Richards is out, but they also have Riley Sanders and Adam Treloar. So they might be relatively smaller than what they're probably used to. So maybe it's an opportunity there. Ned Long could debut versus Doggies on Friday night. So he goes. Team playing sheet drops tomorrow. Yes. And Matt, I'll be doing a live stream for that as well. So stick around for that if you like. Angelique, hello. How you going, little sis? I'm so hyped for McStay to return, even though it won't be for a while. What does that mean? You suggesting he's going to get injured again?
Well, what is he? He was expected to come back pretty soon, right? After.
Yeah, well, post bye, he's going to do some match simulation, and then there are murmurs that he's going to play in the home and away season before the finals, obviously. So there's a chance that happens. Champs, do you want to have a suss at that one?
I have a faith in Collingwood. We didn't pick Brian Tickle in SSP, and we didn't take him here. So there must be something we're not seeing. That's true. Obviously, there's a lot of footage, or they'll see what his training ethic is like. On face value and what we can see, we would have had him as around pick 10. Just for his, he can come in and do a job straight away. Well, that's what we believe. But obviously, there's probably a little bit of truth in that. They've had a look at this guy. So yeah, we're obviously missing something or a piece of information that we don't have.
Yeah. And look, Brent Teakle, he was in that showcase game where the Waffle played against the Sample. And the Sample is, generally speaking, a better league. I'm not saying they have better star players, but they definitely have a better league overall, more depth. And they apparently Teakle's colours got lowered in that game against the Sample Ruck player. I forget who it was. But maybe Collingwood just couldn't justify taking Brent Teakle with our pick number 10. Even though we need him right now, I think they were mindful that Ilaro Smith was on the table for pick 10 and they're investing long-term and didn't want to jump the gun on that. And that's why maybe Teakle went, I think he went at pick 14 for North Melbourne a little bit later.
Yeah, it was definitely when he went to North, but I think it was pick 14.
Yeah. What happens if Cameron goes down, champ? What are we doing?
We're praying, champs. We're praying.
praying.
So obviously, we've got Coxie out for the immediate future, about 6 weeks with an MCL, and obviously the concussion that happened concurrently in that grab looked pretty bad, went ragdoll, so not ideal there. We'll see Kruger probably come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Touting win, if you could bet on it, it'd be $1 favorite, so I reckon he'll come in there. But yeah, we'd have to. I don't know who would come in, champs.
Yeah.
Do
It's slim
you have any-
pickings. I think
yeah.
when we were shit out of luck with Rucks last year at one point, Billy Frampton was our number one
did,
ruckman
yeah.
at a certain stage. So worst comes to
think
worst.
he's really, I really like him in the back line. I feel like he's found a home there as that key defender role. So yeah, with the pickings we have, he probably does come in to the ruck. And then Charlie Dean, Will Parker will probably have to play. Obviously Howie as well. He's come back this week. So yeah, Frampton probably will have to swing forward. And Ruck.
The mids have got a new
These have got a
system.
system now. Christian Pendle hold the other mids out from the centre. Bounce and make a screen for Nick to go 1-on-1 in the middle. I just saw King on 360 showing it. Yep, saw that footage as well. And that's what we're talking about, how in the pre-game shows, how Collingwood have really shown dominance. And that was my kind of worry with that Freo game. When Pendles, Chris, and Nick were playing the last couple of weeks, they're averaging that high 80% bounce attendance. Whereas last week the numbers were down. We'll get that data for you on Friday. But we've just got to make sure that contest is right. So obviously with Pendles out, that opens the door up for another midfielder to come in. So we just got to see. And the guys will be practicing anyway. Like if Pendles was to go out, then they'll know the role there. So it's always going to be chopping and changing. You've got to play for your strengths as well, and the cattle of fish you have out on the paddock as well.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, man, if Nick Dacos is in the midfield, I'm not really stressed.
We're going to be fine.
Put me and you in the midfield with Nick Dacos, Collingwood Football Club will be all right.
Mate, he'd make us look good.
Yeah. Herald Sun says round 20 for mixed day, which is good. This is an interesting one. I'm going to write this down, Michael. I hope it's not hearsay. Apparently, Iliro Smith can run sub 3 second 20-meter sprint at 200 centimeters. So sub 3 second 20-meter sprint at 200 centimeters, which is elite. Very nice at 200 centimeters. I'll follow that up. Yeah. What pick are we up to, Richard? Richard, we're done, mate. We've taken Iliro Smith at pick 10 in the mid-season draft and Ned Long from our Collingwood VFL system at pick 19. Mitchell, Collingwood to bring in Ned Moyle in the off-season. Maybe. I think we'd have to give up. We'd have to give up a bit for him because he's a budding young ruckman who, if it wasn't for Jared Witts, would be playing. I don't know if we have the draft capital to get him over unless he's a free agent at some point. I'm not too sure. Yeah, round 20. Matt, this is an interesting one regarding Steen and Begg. I think Begg has potential to be a key forward at some point because he does rotate with Oscar Steen in the VFL from forward to ruck. I don't know if Begg is... Champs, have you seen Begg's body stature?
You want to enlighten me, Champs?
Have a look. Have a look. But he's not the biggest ruckman going around. He's very mobile. I think he's got more potential to be a key tall. As for Oscar Steen, I'm not too sure. Yet where we go with Oscar Steen. And like you said, they're both injured right now, so it's hard to get a fair assessment on them.
Yeah, so 6'4". So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a short ruckman.
I don't know why. Yeah, he actually came down, and I saw him down at Scammell Reserve.
Yep.
Yeah, with when Brazzy and Whatchamacallit came down.
Howie
last year. Howie, the four of them. rocked up to the wrong ground. The funny cunts.
Yeah, I just forgot Aiden Beggar's 6'4", so that's not a ruckman's height. So clearly, maybe Collingwood are trying to nurture him into being the next big key forward for Collingwood. Who knows? Who knows? Champs, I reckon we'll keep this going for another 5 minutes, and then we might call it an evening. Otherwise, our family and co might think we don't love them. How's your tea going, brother? This has nearly taken me an hour to finish this green tea,
Mate. This thing, Chris, if you're still in the chat, done amazing. I'm about to come on to my last two sips.
I just finished my last sip. That was a big cup of tea. At least I know if I need a tea for a good hour, I know which cup to use now. Mick,
Yeah.
Bradshaw, thanks, mate. Thank you for tuning in, mate. This means nothing without you guys here, so we appreciate you viewing in and listening. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Hopefully the picked up a new microphone for you guys, so that's coming across nice and clear. And then obviously moved into the spare room with the lovely background going on. So hopefully it's coming up a little bit clearer with the new face
Moving up
cam
in the
as well.
world. Caleb's moving up in the world.
Exactly.
Investments for you guys.
Yeah, it's all for tax.
Big T for a big we. Thanks, lads. Go by. There's the comment of the stream, champs. Big T for a big we.
There's always one. Lob
Hopefully
next
it's
year.
hydrated.
Perfect. Oh, you want to put that comment up on the screen, champs?
Go on. You have a hit.
Lob next year. Perfect upgrade for Big Cozzy. And they can go off the screen, champs. We don't want him here. We don't want him. We don't want him. We don't want him. I'm not a fan.
Simple as that, right? That's it.
Lob. Nah.
That's it. All right. Last comment, guys. Marty, thank you. We appreciate your time, mate. And thanks for contributing. JC, no dramas, mate. Thanks for joining in. And hopefully we see you guys tomorrow night. But yeah, last comment. Any comment on LDU as a restricted free agent next year? His last 2 games have been very good for North Melbourne. I think he's been close to the best player for both games against Port Adelaide, and I forget who the other team was the week before, but he's been very, very impressive. But I'm not too sure I would go for him just yet. I think, like I said, similar to tonight, we need to really invest in a promising key tall forward / ruck or whatever that may be. Maybe not a midfielder just yet. With the recent emergence of Nick Dacos driving in the midfield, Finn McRae, Jack Bytel, Lockie Sullivan, champs. Are you noticing this? The regurgitation, is that what we call it?
Yeah. No, not noticing.
Janet, thank you. Thanks, Janet. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Ninja.
Yeah.
Magpies, the channel has been elite for the little time I've known about it. Thank you, Caleb, and I really do appreciate that. We love being here with you guys, so it means a lot.
Yeah, exactly right.
Any final words, champs?
No, very similar. Anthony's got the new show that he'll be doing by himself tomorrow, Moving Magnets. Love the name, champs. Best one, I reckon, we have so far. So look out to that. That'll be very interesting. Friday, champs, be over again at yours. We've only got the 1 win together, which was that Carlton game. We've got 2 draws together this year. Maybe the merch, maybe not. See what the superstitions is. You guys want to? I don't know. Do we do the show topless? I don't know, champs. Whatever it is, whatever we're gonna do for a Collingwood win. So we've got the pre-game show. We'll G you up. We'll talk about what we need to do to win. You guys can ask us questions. Post-game show, you can come rant about the umpires. Come do whatever you need to do to vent, or we can be celebrating a good win.
Yeah.
All right.
No more draws.
Hopefully, no more draws. Then you'll have your review during the week, on the weekend, and then we'll also go into our new show on Monday, being what is it called, champs? The Pies Performers.
The Pie Performers. It's a pun because high and pie they're similar. I could have done PIGH, but I kept it to PIE. I don't want to confuse the masses.
So yeah, we'll be doing analysis, breakdown, ranking each player, and that'll be a new show. Very excited for that to come out. And then if you guys haven't listened, we had Pies Eyes podcast. Episode 5 came out yesterday. Very, very good episode talking about Lockie Schultz and a couple other selections there. And obviously the score review conspiracy regarding, is it advertisement? Is it not? Got to find out and tune in to find out. Got anything else to add, champs?
No, but Magpie says if we draw again, he'll get naked and do the helicopter, and we're all with you. How about that? If we draw again, we'll all do the helicopter and we'll get cancelled. Guys, that's it. That's enough for tonight. We're off. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Moving the Magnets show, the first segment. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See you guys.